Yeah.
Is there anything to a Jets-Giants rivalry?
I'm starting to learn, the rivalry they have out here, see who rules New York out here. I'm always gonna have that little softy spot in my heart for the Giants, but just trying to enjoy practice today and try to get better as a team.
How much do you enjoy going against a guy like Brian Burns?
It's a different rusher than what I'm used to seeing on a daily basis, and so it's always getting that good work. He's a heck of a player, and he has all my respect. And then even after today, we're just trying to conversate over just technique. He's a guy. He's continue trying to get better.
When you've seen some of the success Garrett has had in these joint practices, how excited does that make you about the potential for the season? What those 3 miles on that long touchdown?
And it makes us super excited. And he's one of those people that just give him time, he's going to do it. And we all celebrate together at the end of it. But it takes all of us. So.
You've been on a unique growing plan in terms of what days you're getting reps, what days you're off, things like that. How do you believe your body feels after kind of going through it to this point compared to previous years?
It feels great. They just, they came up their own system kind of similar to what Dallas was doing, and it's been working. The main thing is just trying to keep me fresh and healthy for the season.
How do you feel like you are?
Yeah, feel great.
How's Aaron looking to you?
You said, how's Aaron looking?
Yeah, how's Aaron looking?
He's looking great. Don't know much more to say than that, but he has all the respect in the world from me. He just wanted to grace out there, and we're just trying to do our best to keep up with the man.
When he makes a throw, like the one to Garrett, 55-yarder, do you guys kind of look at each other at all when you get out to the sideline, and just like how kind of amazing that was?
You enjoy for what it was, but you can't be thrown off that something like that great happened, and you got to know that you got to expect that from yourself.
What's it like blocking for Aaron Rodgers compared to Dak Prescott? Not a comparison of the players, but the different styles of quarterback they are.
They're definitely different. Of course, of the age part of it, but as far as the leadership and everything, they're very similar. Of course, Aaron's been through it, for years. But I say that leadership is kind of very similar. It's just, it's just a little different here and there.
I meant moving around more, that Dak would move around more.
Yeah, Dak would move around a lot more, but as far as just being out there and balling out, he's kind of similar. So.
When you've got a quarterback like that who who's done it before and you trust, what does that do to the confidence of not just the offense but the whole team and how far you guys can go and make
It makes everything a lot smoother. There's no freakouts out there. We on the field. Just got to kind of trust that he knows what he's talking about, knows what he's doing out there, and as long as we all trust in one another, that we can move forward.
How has your chemistry developed as a group on the offensive line, from early in the offseason to now?
I said it's grown pretty quick. We're kind of a close group so far, and it's the fact that we're staying together every single day and trying to get better.
I know Olu's dealing with an elbow injury. Just talk about what you've seen from him throughout the course of training camp.
He's he's come along a long way ever since the beginning of when we first got started. But he's a great kid, and he's coming along pretty fast, which is pretty great so far.
How are you doing with Aaron as far as knowing where because you have to have eyes in the back of your head, knowing where he likes to step up, or he likes to stray from the pocket a little bit. How are you guys doing in that regard?
Well, we're doing great. We just got to know we got to block forever, when the time comes. But it's also just a feel thing, knowing where he is at and know what play it is, and you just got to have the back of your head, where is he going to line up at.
Do you think you need to play in the preseason, or can you just go right to September 9th and be able to turn it on?
For years, I've been used to going straight into the season. It's been a while. I can't remember the last time I did a preseason game, but we get as much work out here as possible getting ready for the first game.
Just a routine play. Working my technique, working my leverage, That's all it is, honestly.
After missing a year, does plays like that, hits like that, is it just wanting to be back out there again?
Yeah, it kind of wake you up, make you feel alive, give you that high, honestly. So I love it, love stuff like that.
Do you view these joint practices as kind of a measuring stick for yourself? And just kind of what would you assess where you are right now?
I definitely feel like it is opportunity to gauge where you at, what you can work on and get better at for sure. You're going against your teammates every day, so you kind of get used to their techniques and how they do things, you know. So seeing somebody different that's at a top level as well, it's definitely a good measuring stick for you.
Is there anything to practicing against the Giants? Like anything, two teams in the same city, like any extra juice at all?
I think
like Sauce was pretty happy.
Yeah, guys was throwing it around there, you know, like who's the team in New York, you know what I'm saying? We share the same stadium, so you definitely heard that today for sure.
So who is the team in New York?
Us. Us. Yeah.
So that sentiment, I guess, when Sauce was walking up the field waving to everyone, that's one shared by kind of the whole team.
Yeah, for sure. You know, we had those meetings, we talked about it for sure, a couple before coming out there. We know what the standard is and set the tone.
Chuck, I know today you're facing another team, but all camp, just what's it like going against Aaron every day, trying to match wits with him, what he does at the line, and then just seeing the throws he makes every day?
It's a test going against him every day. You got to be on your best. You know, even the days when you don't feel like it, when you're sore, you got to work because you're going to get challenged, you're going to get exposed if you don't. So it's definitely a test every day coming out there competing against him.
Remind yourself a little bit that he's not 40, not injured.
Nah, I don't really think about age, you know what I'm saying? Every man on this field is capable and can play, you know what I'm saying? So you don't really take that into account. But, I mean, I guess when at the end of the day, when you come out the field, you're like, hey, he has been doing it for a long time. So, yeah.
You've been a part of really good defenses before. What does it take to maintain that year over year, and what's the challenge for this group, which has been a really good defense the last couple of years, to do that moving forward?
I think like you just said, how do you maintain it? The main way you maintain that is through practice. And practice, just the habits that you create that trickle down through guys through the different years, and it stays with that team. It stays with the character of that team, you know. So I think just through practice and what we build and what we put out there every day on the practice field and carry over to games, and that's our makeup, that's our identity.
Chuck, do you feel like you're all the way back, or do you feel like you need to make that first tackle? To kind of feel like, all right.
Nah, I'm back. I felt good in OTAs, and coming onto the field to compete against guys, I don't feel like I would have had that mindset. Hey, I'm not physically capable or ready to compete if I didn't feel like I was there. So I'm back for sure.
Are you looking forward to hitting someone else?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it all. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it all.
What do you think of number 9, Neighbors?
He looked good. I mean, they was trying to get him the ball for sure, you know. So I definitely think he's going to be a good player. He got time to grow. You know, he's a rookie, so yeah.
Do you allow yourself to kind of daydream and think about what September night is going to be like there for you?
Definitely. I just sit and envision myself making plays, you know, just seeing a different color for the first time. Well, not the first time, but where it really counts, you know. So I can't wait for that night, like, to put myself through that scenario. It's going to be a nighttime game, what it's going to feel like outside, what uniform we're going to have on. So I definitely walk myself through those scenarios.